مساء الورد والنور والسرور. هذه تسأل إيش أفضل كتاب ممكن تتعلم منه عن هرمونات السمنة؟ للأمانة كتاب فاتشانس بلا منازع للطبيب البروفيسور روبرت لاستيك. هذا درس كيمياء أغذية أول، بعدين درس طب، وبعدين تخصص في الغدد الصماء. فظيع عالم بشكل مقنع تماما. هنا يتكلم عن النظام الهرموني، كيف هرمون الانسولين هرمون ضبط سكر الدم يعيق هرمون الشبع هرمون الليبتين، بعدين تصير سمين بعدها. وهنا يتكلم عن اللي هو هرمون الجوع الجريلين، وهنا يتكلم عن هرمون البيبتي واي، وهنا يتكلم عن هرمون الكورتيزول هرمون الضغط النفسي. برضه عندنا شيء ثاني هنا أتكلم عنه اللي هو السعرات الحرارية. هنا نتكلم عن السعرات الحرارية وعملية اللي هو حساب السعرات الحرارية، انه ما راح يوصلك لصحة مثالية، مش جسم مثالي، ما راح يوصلك لصحة مثالية. وهنا بعد تكلم عن هرمون الاستروجين هرمون الأنوثة وكيف تأثير البلاستيك عليه. بالنسبة للي سألوا هل في مترجم من الكتاب، سهل انك تترجمه. تروح لما اليوتيوب تكتب فات شانس والبحط الرابط لكم فات شانس، شوفوا اللي شايفينها أكثر من 6 مليون، تمام؟ وتضغط هنا وتضغط على إيش؟ على الترجمة، تنزل إلى الترجمة الأوتوماتيكية هذه، تضغط عليها، بعدين حط اللغة العربية هنا Arabic، تشوفونها كذا دين تطلع لك الترجمة باللغة العربية. هذا يشرح لك الكتاب من إلى بشكل كامل، اللي هو كتاب فات شانس. للأمانة أكثر كتاب، مع أنه هو يقول أصلا أنا كتبته للأطباء، ولكن سلس مرة ومهضوم ومفهوم الكتاب.
So when you eat food, it's not in your body straight away. If you swallow that sugar, it's not in you yet. So here's a pool noodle, right? It's got a hole running through it. And here's an almond. And if I put the almond in there, it can go all the way through and out the other end. Whoop-de-doo. Here's another almond. If I put an almond in here, where's the almond? You would say the almond's in the pool noodle. Okay, but is it in the foam that the pool noodle is made of? No, of course not. It's just in the hole that runs through it. That's food. You swallow food, it's not in you. It's in the hole that runs from here to the back door. And getting food into you is called digestion. So with this stuff, you've got to break the bond that's holding the fructose to the glucose. And as soon as you do that, then that stuff can cross the barrier, your internal skin, and into your body, and then it can go around in your blood. That's digestion. But now it's not metabolism yet. It's got to go into your cells, and then you've got to burn it up. And if you don't burn it up, if you eat all that sugar after you've had your 3 meals in the day, your body doesn't waste it, doesn't come out here. The stuff that comes out the back door was never in you. Apart from a few molecules of cholesterol, it's just fibre that you couldn't digest, plus the bacteria that live in your gut. You lose about 500 billion of those in one single sitting. They're tiny. That's many times the population of the Earth. Every time you flush the toilet. It's amazing. But that stuff was never really in you. So here's what happens. If you don't then metabolize that sugar, well then it's going to get converted into the stuff that we all have a problem with, fat. Now, but it just proves that you do breathe this stuff out, right? If you metabolize sugar, you turn it back into carbon dioxide and water. So every time you exhale, out comes a bit of carbon dioxide. You can't see it. This is the problem. This is why people don't know how you lose weight. So there you go. I've trapped some breath. I've inhaled that. 5% of the air in there is now carbon dioxide because it's come out of my lungs. I've got some liquid nitrogen here, and I'm going to use that to freeze this air. Liquid nitrogen's minus 196. It's very handy. It's right there. In fact, I'll just pour it straight on. So be a little bit careful with this stuff. I use it all the time. If I look a little blasé, I don't mean to. Please respect this stuff if you play with it, the way you would respect boiling hot water. Now, if you pour it onto a balloon, the balloon does not pop, which is incredible. The nitrogen's minus 196. Oxygen turns into a liquid at minus 183. So the oxygen in the balloon is turning into liquid. Carbon dioxide turns solid. I've got a big bowl of it there. But it turns solid at minus 78. So in the balloon now, I have frozen, I have liquefied oxygen and frozen carbon dioxide. And when I take it out, you'll see them. So, it'll just take a while for the balloon to go a little bit clear at the top. The nitrogen in here, air is 79% nitrogen. The nitrogen is in the top of the balloon. But now, look at that liquid down there. Can you see that? Can you see that? That's the oxygen from my breath that I hadn't used. But once it's all gone, there'll be some white powder left. Right, the white powder is breakfast. That's the carbon dioxide, the carbon atoms I ate in the last 24 hours. And when I blow on them, they get warm enough to turn back into gas. And they vanish. And people think there's nothing in the balloon. People think there's nothing in the balloon. The balloon has mass. Those atoms have mass. You can see carbon dioxide has mass when you solidify it. But when you breathe it out, you don't see it. People think there's nothing in the balloon. The balloon has mass. Those atoms have mass. You can see carbon dioxide has mass when you solidify it. But when you breathe it out, you don't see it.